just being an African-American male in America, male of color in general, especially with the way America is reflecting black and brown people in this country, it's difficult not to encounter it at some point. I actually had a case sitting in front of my house. Me and two other men. Police jumped out, pulled guns on us, put it at our heads, and said they were looking for someone who had stolen some equipment. And I showed him that I lived at that location. And then he vociferously apologized, hoping that I would not tell any of his superiors about it.
I mean, it's funny how sometimes you're always in the wrong part of the neighborhood. I didn't even know there's such a thing as a wrong part of the neighborhood, especially in America. Like, yeah, I thought you were free to go wherever you want, whenever you want. I was pulled over sort of late night, accused of being, as he put it, suspicious activity. So I was pulled over, Bill Mead area, asked for my license, my registration, my insurance. I had it all. I showed him everything. He's like, okay. So I'm interrogated, a couple hours of interrogations out in the cold in the boxes, and the other cops just having casual conversation, making me look like the fool. And I mean, that's tough being a kid, but sometimes you go through that. I mean, at the end, I was let go. No citation, no ticket, no reason. Only because, in my opinion, I was a Muslim kid in the wrong part of the neighborhood. So they said. I mean, I've seen a lot in my life. But to be degraded, I wasn't worried about stripped down of my clothes. Being stripped of my dignity was what I had a problem with. I mean, to run away from the injustices, only to come back and face it, that was tough. This is still the land of opportunity. This is America. People flee from other countries to come to a beautiful place like this. But sometimes they don't realize the harsh reality of it. Every beautiful face has an ugly side to it.
Life I've lived in Michigan. I have traveled extensively, whether it was for studies or whether it was for human rights research. But I have really spent most of my life in Michigan. I have to say I'm a Detroit girl, although I like the West Coast. My sister and I, we are very frequent travelers. We were vacationing in Argentina. We're flying back to the United States. We had already gone through the initial screening. We had gone through the secondary pat-down, but when we were about to board the flight at the gate, after we had presented our boarding pass, we were pulled aside by TSA agents and asked to remove our head covering. So asking us to remove our hijab in public, if you can imagine being asked to remove your underwear and removing it in public, that's really what that feeling is going to feel like. They took us back out through the security to a public bathroom. We were patted down. The bathroom was crowded. I remember that there were people going in and out of the bathrooms, and they were asking, you know, why did you select these women, and have you done this to anyone else? And there was another woman that was, you know, putting her head covering back on, and I will never forget, she was shaking. She was shaking. She looked like she had been thoroughly humiliated, and obviously the same thing happened to my sister and myself.